Hello. How is everybody? Did you have a nice lunch? It seems like 3 seconds since we did lunch. Doesn't it? It's gone really quick.
Yeah.
Any questions, reflections? Bev, Debs, any discussion over lunch?
We've just been doing some drumming.
Oh, nice. As you do.
Lovely. I'll tell you what, I'm coming here more often. Can we do it online every weekend?
It's great, yeah. Funnily, that's really weird though, because was it me and Jules suggested doing drumming this weekend anyway, didn't we? Yeah, we
did.
about doing drumming. Next time, if you want to bring your drums, do that, and we'll maybe do some drumming.
Yeah, lovely. It's really funny because on the when I bought the drum, the lady whose journey I'd gone to for the day, she's down in Newark, and she's fabulous. Would highly recommend a day like journeying with her. And part of what came through in my air, she breaks it down into elements. And I'd got no idea what was going to. It was gifted to me from the lady that I work with at the charity. And so I turned up for this day kind of not having a clue what we were doing. And we journeyed with different, she goes through like 15-minute meditations through levels of every element. And when we got to air element, the deity, I was going to say this yesterday, but the deity, Vayu, from the east wind on his chariot came through in my meditation, and I saw him and wrote it down.
Wow.
Do a piece of artwork afterwards.
Oh, amazing.
Scribble all of your things down each time you do the drumming journey.
Wow.
And then she does a big meditation, and it's just random information coming through to you. And it came through. Fantastic. So I couldn't believe it when I read it in the manual yesterday.
Wow.
That's fantastic.
Really odd. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, all of the threads. I've just actually shared in the group the Sacred Heart Sequence class. And then I was like, oh my God, I like my hair.
Yay!
My hair looked really nice in the video, like short, and I'm like, oh.
Oh no, you mean not like
Take
now?
out the dreads.
No, I thought you meant now.
No, before. Well, actually, the colour was brilliant. So yeah, have a look at that. I really like my hair there. So when the dreads have to come out, I'll go back to that.
Batter.
Batter deranged. Yeah. All right, good. So we've got a couple of things to get through this afternoon, but not too much and not too heavy. We're going to start off with the thymus tapping, which is very great to use anyway at this time of year to give the immune system a little bit of a boost. I often do this. Doesn't always work, having said that, but I do it if I feel like I'm starting with a cut, like I can feel like something's going on, and I'll tap here, and it can often, like, that coupled with some tea tree and, nice warm hot bath or whatever, and it can sometimes just see it off. So it can be really helpful. I'm just actually, and I'm putting it in the new manual, but I'm not going to share it yet because I'm still working with it myself, but I'm just doing also a tapping sequence for the vagal system. So for the note where we do the sides of the hands and like all around, and yeah, that's it. So I'm just on with that at the moment, and I like to embody it myself before I teach it. So I'll carry on with that, but that will be going in the manual as well. And then I want to talk a little bit about the Brahmari breath, and from the tantric tradition lens, and then we'll put them both together and make a little sequence. And then it's up to you then what we do. So we can either do the posture work straight after that, or we can do the chakra work straight after that. So it's up to you what you feel like you want to do. If you want to get the movement done and then do the practical stuff, that's going to actually be part of your homework, mind you. For your assignment this month, this element is a assignment on your chakra, on the chakras, on your chakra system, and also how just your reflections on the chakras really, and what you can learn, because there's so much. I've just got I'll put a photo in the group actually. I've just found, because in our training we've been working with the chakras from the tantric lens, through the tantric lens, and it is a little bit different. So I found a really nice book that is a new, there is thousands of books on chakras, thousands of them. From really basic to really advanced. I mean, I've probably got nearly all of them on my shelf. There is, I think I recommended in the group that Antonia Judith is very good with chakra work. She's like a bit of a queen of the chakras. And she does a chakra yoga book, which is really nice to look at as well. There's another one, a path, Eastern Path of something. Anyway, I'll take some photos and put them in a group of some books I recommend. And that's about that is kind of like a story of a woman who was, well, actually it's Maya Twari, I think she's called, that she's quite a Ayurvedic goddess, and she found healing through Ayurveda, and I think there's a big piece about chakras in there. And then another teacher that I worked with many years ago, she was a Nigerian woman. I think I might have said about her, she was well scary. Anyway, she was good though. But she wrote a really lovely book from the a slightly different angle, but that's got all the elements in it as well. And I think it's called Opening to Spirit, I think it's called. I'm not quite sure where you can get it. I don't know if you can get it on Amazon, but that one's really nice as well. So there's a few different things, and energy is, I just love energy. I just love it. So yeah, I'm at the moment sort of going into the tantric system a bit, which will be coming through a bit more in the teachings as we go forward. Around all these different, different viewpoints and different ways of looking at different stuff. And every tradition will have a chakra system that will be different. There'll be a few different bits and pieces. And I've added in the Earth Star chakra, and there is more. There's like many more as well, but I've added in the Earth Star and the Soul Star chakras into our new manual, which I'm on with, and I'm planning on hopefully getting that finished this week. I've taken the week off to get it finished, and so then I'll get them ordered all together, and I'll share it in as a PDF so you can have a look. So it's gonna be slightly different to the one you've got. You can obviously use both anyway. But the chakra work, I think, is going to be a bit different in there. And some of the posture work is because I'm going to go from a bit of a tantric lens with some of the other things as well. So there'll be all sorts in there for you, like a whole lifetime's information forever, for teaching forever. Okay, so the thymus gland, let's start with that. So it's also called the happiness point as well, because obviously it's the higher heart. So when we're tapping here, we're kind of tapping into the higher heart. The sound or the seed sound of the heart. In fact, somewhere I've got like a thing with the chakras with all of the seed sounds, of the syllables of each chakra, which I'll share as well, because this is a really nice practice to work with each day, to use the sounds of the chakras as you're working through, because obviously sound is very clearing. So the heart chakra sound is actually ah. It's like this ah sound is heart. It's also yam. So it's yam and it is also ah. So we've got these two different sounds that can be used to activate heart chakra. And there's many different sounds that we can use in the from different traditions, but the sound of the heart is this, like if you were to sound out ah, you can literally feel it here. It kind of vibrates right here when you do it. You can feel it. It's quite expansive, so you can feel it opening up. So so the happiness point, this thymus gland, which sits just above the kind of sternum point, you can kind of, if you stick your fingers in, you can kind of feel it. It feels a bit tender usually. You can kind of feel it, and the thymus sits just behind there. The heart chakra is actually associated with the cardiac plexus as well. So we've got these kind of gatherings, these kind of junctures of energy here that can be stimulated through tapping. So it's kind of directly related really to the heart as well. But the thymus is also associated with our immunological composition. So in newborns, when children are born, it's actually quite well developed. But then after puberty, so as we age, it begins to convert a little bit, and our immunity as we get older can drop a bit. We can be a bit more susceptible to catching things. And interestingly, when children are little, if you have grandchildren, you will know this. They're ill all the freaking time. Because they seem to they're building like their immune system, and also spreading their little fucking germs everywhere. So this can be really, really helpful. It's actually the first gland in the body to grow old. So it's the first one that kind of ages really and begins to grow old. So obviously then we're a bit more susceptible to picking up things. And when we tap on it and we begin to create this vibration, the thymus gland, as I understand it, begins to release these what called T cells. So these cells that are like fighting, they're going to like little Pac-Men, they're going to eat up any kind of random stuff that's kicking off around the body. So it's really, really interesting, and I'm fairly sure that as time goes on, there's going to be more and more studies done into the heart, because the heart also, as we've kind of have this idea that we now have this gut brain axis. We also have a heart brain as well. So the heart also has a brain of its own too. And the heart also has a electrical current as well, which is interesting. It has its own electrical field around it. And I was saying yesterday that it said that the heart field, so the energy around the heart, vibrates about 3 foot around the body. Now, if I can remember correctly, now I could be wrong with this, but I'm fairly sure that when we take cacao, the heart field expands another 3 foot. So it actually opens us out like double the amount of space in our heart when we have cacao. So that's really beautiful to think about. So there is this is all in the manuals, as you'll get them as well. So when we again have this idea that this, because it's kind of associated to the heart, and I think I've said before that the sound of the heart is actually a chuckle. So this is where we get this idea that the heart is about playfulness. And when you tap on here, it always kind of makes me want to laugh a bit. It's really funny, but it gives you that funny laughy feeling in your belly. So just tapping on here, and I used to do a bit of a joke actually in my class, because we used to do it with 2 hands, and we used to do this Tarzan tap and say like, yeah, Tarzan never used to get ill because he used to do the thymus tapping. And so we used to do the in our class as we were tapping here. So again, this is quite a nice thing to do in your classes. To bring people's awareness to the fact that we are going into winter. It is a time when we can, start being aware that we can pick up a few bits and pieces, and, to look after ourselves by just doing this every day. I think, can set us up quite well. I doubt we'll avoid everything, but, it can give us a bit of help. And also, obviously, if you're recovering as well, so if you're recovering from viruses and stuff, then again, it's just going to give that little bit of a boost to, the immune cells and get them flowing a little bit. So that's your thymus. Now, again,
Yeah. Can I?
Hello.
Just me. Can I just? Well, we're talking about heart.
Yeah.
This was a birthday gift. I think.
Oh,
Dare to Feel.
that was nice. I've not seen that.
Transformational Path of the Heart.
Oh my goddess, let me write that down. That's another 3 books my frigging bookshelf this weekend.
Yeah. Well, my very good friend who gave it to me for my birthday said, "This isn't for now. You will know when you need to read this."
Ah.
And I picked this up last night off the shelf.
And I bet that's free on Spotify as well.
I don't know, Alexandra Roxo. But
amazing, thank you.
I'm going to start that, but
I'm going to start that too, because I'm kind of feeling into that as well. I was thinking about what book to share for this.
Do you want me to read just a little bit what she says.
Yeah, go on. That's nice. Yeah.
Most of us weren't taught how to feel. In fact, we were taught not to feel. Teacher Alexandra Roxo, though we have been taught to deny, repress, and lock away our feelings to get by in our emotionally illiterate culture, our hearts long to be open and free. Blah blah blah, and that it takes courage to shed our armor, to stop checking out, grabbing our phones, or running for the door. Yet the effort is worth it. It is when you dare to feel, even when it hurts, that you open the heart and the soul. You become the sculptor of your own reality and free yourself to experience all your life can be.
Oh my God, S. That's amazing.
Just share this.
Let's stick that on the group chat, and I'll see if it's in Spotify. I'm sure it will be on Audible, and it'll be on Audible if you don't read. But yeah, that looks like a nice one to have on the bookshelf as well, and read. This. There's so many books on heart. There's a really nice one by Sally Kempton, actually. I think it's called Meditation on Love or something it's called, but that was one of my favourites. I love Sally Kempton's work. She's died now, but I think it's called, I'll have a look in the break, see if I can pick it out. But that's quite a nice, it's got loads of different meditations on the heart if you want to work with heart, if you're using that as a heart. And she comes very much from the tantric tradition as well. So yeah, that sounds lovely, Joy. Thank you for sharing that. So again, we don't want to be bruising ourselves. It wants to be a little vibration, not a so yeah, that's it, Chrissy. So the other thing you can do with this, I'm just going to get up to show you, is something called doing. I don't know if I've shared this already. Did I share this already? I don't know if I shared it already. So in the energy cultivation, so whether you're doing the dancing, the body wisdom flows, the seated, you can also do this. So I'm fairly sure it might be in the thing, but I can't remember. So you might start off with this, and then you're going to take it down. So you start to tap all of the body. So you might come down the back of the arm, down through the hand, up the upper arm, across the chest, over to the other side, up, and you maybe do that 3 times. Chest, belly, into the lower back. You might do the neck, face, head, down the legs, all the way down to the feet. So that can be actually a really nice practice to do. And especially what I used to find with that is it's a really nice technique to do if you have got new people. So if you're starting a brand new class and people are maybe a bit like, yeah, they're probably not going to want to dance, or it's actually quite a nice practical thing to get people in their body to feel the tapping. So it's a very good embodying practice. And it's called doing, and I believe it's from the Taoist tradition. And it was also something that they would do before they went into battle. I don't know why. That's what I learned somewhere along the line. Some bit of useless information that came in somewhere. So this tapping, again, to prepare energetically. So the vibration of the tapping is going to open up all of the energy pathways, the meridians, all of the energy lines in the body. So again, if you were in, say, like, even if, so for example, if you were teaching men, and that you're not going to put on Sister Sledge, I guess, or you might do, but that could be like a really good practice. Or say, for example, which is really interesting, if you were say going into an office environment to teach corporate people this practice, then that would be a really good practice because it's quite embodied, it's quite easy to do, it's not woo-woo, it's not going to freak anyone out particularly, and people are quite open to it. You can relate it to the Taoist tradition, which people might quite be interested with that. So the tapping, again, all over the body, it's kind of vibrational technique that also regulates nervous system. So if you were to couple that with then some humming, which is what I've been doing just myself. So if I'm getting that that anxiety feeling coming up, I've just started tapping and doing this VOO sound, so VOO, VOO, as I'm doing it. So just chanting VOO, and then taking a nice deep breath in. I'm safe. And it kind of passes real fast, and it's really, really helping me at the moment going through this funny funk that I've been in. Yeah, so just give it a go anyway and see what you think. So Brahmari, which is a pranayama practice, I'm going to go into the pranayama next time because we'll do that as part of our A&P bit. But the pranayama practice of Brahmari is called this humming bee breath. So it's also has this lovely idea of making honey in the heart. So in Tantra, the consciousness is likened to a little bee by the name of Uli, the little soul bee. This little bee of consciousness hums to create nectar in the heart. I thought that was a really sweet little story. So humming will again help us to reduce tension, slow us down. Definitely add this into your daily practice if you can. And you honestly, it's so quick. It's so quick to really bring you into the present moment and calm your nervous system down. If you're a little bit, if you're feeling a little bit all over the place. So how we would work with this is we're going to take a nice deep breath in, and then we're just going to hum it out as far out as you can. So literally deep breath in through the nose, and we're going to hum it all the way down. And then at the same time, as we're doing the Brahmari, I'm going to add in also the thymus tapping. So we're going to do it at the same time and just see how it feels. So we're just going to embodied practice, see how it feels. And just when you're ready, I'll just turn my mic off. I don't know if you'll be able to hear me anyway, actually, but I'll just turn my mic off. Oh, no, what? You probably won't be able to hear it anyway. So I'm going to take a nice deep breath in. Just start a gentle tap on that thymus point. Or if you want to do the whole chest, you can do that as well. Just see how it feels. And then just taking a nice deep breath in through the nose. And then just going to hum it out. Again, just connecting to that lovely idea of weaving nectar into the heart. So just let the lungs completely empty, and you might feel it in the ears a bit. Again, just take another nice deep breath in. I'm going to do it again.
Andrea,
Hello.
Do you just hum just short like you do, or do you hum the whole way, the whole
Yeah,
time?
all the way out. I think my mic's probably not picking it up, but I'm humming all the way out. So
all the way out. Okay.
till the
Yeah.
breath completely empty, you keep humming. I think my mic will cut out. But I am actually humming all the way out, yeah. And then once you've emptied, you then take another nice deep breath in and then just do it again. Now, what I love about this, and we'll do it also in the postures, and we added it in the goddess work actually in Kali, with Kali, goddess Kali, because we work on the nervous system with her, and how you can actually hum while you're holding these ground-based, like the yin postures, and then that gives it like a double whammy on the nervous system. So, you can be in like fish pose, for example, and do this humming. It's really lovely. So just have another go with it, and then just be still with it and just see, just notice again, from an embodied awareness, any changes and just see how it makes you feel. Mm. 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 And then once you've done a couple of rounds of that, you might want to have like Prithvi Mudra or Apana Mudra and just take a nice deep breath in. I actually seem to always want to hold the breath in for a couple of seconds when I've done it. So nice deep breath in, hold it, and then let it out. And then just notice how you feel. And then when you're ready, I'll just come back into the space. How's everyone feeling? Do you find, because what I find with that is it kind of really brings me into presence really fast. So, you could do it if you were, I don't know, sat in traffic and you're starting to get a bit angsty. If, I love that you're yawning actually, Joy, because that is it's kind of like the parasympathetic nervous system starting to kind of kick in when we start yawning and tummy rumbling, and this is this kind of sort of symptom, I guess, of this, slowing it all down. Did you like it? How's everyone? Yeah, did you enjoy that?
For me, it was different actually. It didn't slow me down. It woke me up because I was really tired and exhausted.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna have to
Right,
sleep.
yeah. Mm.
But it really woke me up. It felt like with the tapping, it felt as if you're just kind of breaking up
Yeah,
little plaques,
yeah,
like
nice, yeah.
that are stuck and they kind of break up and you can take a fresh, free breath again.
Yeah, nice. I like that idea. And actually the rattle does that too. So yeah, you could have a bit of a rattle going on as well, but that breaks up energy. So yeah, similar sort of thing. I've actually been doing it also when I get, not the tapping so much, but the humming when I get in bed at night. And I'm finding that actually the last couple of nights I seem to be like sleeping deeper. Yeah, not getting disturbed in the night and just sleeping deeper. So I'm not sure if that, I'm presuming it is because of that, because there's nothing else I've been doing. But if you, try it and see what you think. But yeah, the humming can be calming, but also my feeling is with it also is that it's gonna be a bit like an Anyapan in like the plant world. In that it's gonna give you what you need. So yeah, if you're feeling tired and you need a bit of energy, it'll do that. And if you're needing that calm, it'll do that as well. The other thing with this is it's called well, how we were taught it is to also shut off all the senses. So in doing that, though, I think if you've got vertigo, you need to be a bit careful. I tend to find that it sets my tinnitus off a bit more when I do this. But if you wanted to have a go with it, you can put your thumbs in your ears, and then you're going to cover up the eyes. So you close the eyes. You bring the middle fingers to the corner of the nose, and then the the other two fingers kind of come to the corner of the mouth. So you're kind of shutting off all the senses. You're going to block the ears, block the eyes. Obviously, you can't really block the nose completely, but if you press on the outer nose and the outer corners of the mouth, you're getting all of those nadi marma points. And then you're going to do the humming again. So again, if you breathe in and then hum it out with everything blocked as well. And again, this is more of a pratyahara exercise. So you really take your awareness in and down when you do that. So if you're feeling overly stimulated with everything out there, and you feel like you just want to come in and down, I find when you're shutting off all of those those external senses, it really helps again to bring us down and in. So yeah, you can try it that way too. That is actually in the manual as well. Bev,
can I just share on that as well? I did a bit of like a transportation through those, like the voweling sounds. In my experience with that, I always found that it when you were going through from a chakra perspective, it really highlighted a weak spot. And so my throat tends to be quite a weak spot. So whenever I was vowel sounding out using from a throat chakra, for a couple of days after, I'd have a really sore, husky voice.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting because it kind of like it shows you in your body what it's clearly giving some sort of medicine to it.
Yeah, definitely. And I think what I found in my own experience is actually kirtan was one of the things that really helped me clear my throat, because that obviously sounding is going to be the using your voice in a way. What I would say with that as well is the sound for the throat is actually ham. So when you do this, you could actually do it for that. You could also use all of those sounds, which is a really nice practice to do through the energy tune-up. So, like for example, when you're doing the rocking and circling, you might be using lum, 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 and then side bends is vam, and sort of connecting in that way. Your solar plexus is ram, you've got yam, ham, and then silence. So you could actually start working with that. I think I've done that before. I've also done it in a yin class where I've worked with yin postures and sounding and work through the chakras. So that's another thing you can do and add that in, and that's a really nice creative way.
I was just about to add that. I was just about to say that's what I do quite often in my yin classes.
Yeah, it's lovely.
It is, and I learned a lot because I did the training with Craig, of course.
Of course.
We did a lot of vocal toning.
Yeah.
And agreeing with Bev actually, because I found it highlighted for me where I had personally
where you've got the
blockages. But when a vocal tone in a sound bath, I've got people coming to me saying when you were singing and they don't know what I'm doing. I felt it here, or I felt it here, or and it's sort of like the pointing at the different energy centers and saying how they're affected. So it's fascinating stuff, isn't it?
It is. Sound is amazing. It sounds and it is the medicine of the future, is sound, for sure. It is the medicine of the future. So been aware of that, and obviously your blockages, restrictions, whatever you want to call them, are going to change as well. But I think these higher energy centers, I think, especially with throat, it is quite an ancestral area, is that for us as women anyway. And so for me anyway, singing, chanting, is all going to help the throat, but also grounding is also going to help with that strong sense of self, so that we can project our voice really well, you know, as well. So that's also really important. Great. So how's everyone feeling? What do you want to do next? Would you has everybody got that okay? Do you want to go into Zoom rooms and take each other through it? How's everyone feeling? You're all okay with it? Yeah, you're all good. So we have got to do a couple of postures, and we've also got the chakras to do. So what would you like to work with first? How's everyone feeling? Do you want to move? Do you want to keep chatting? Do you want to, what do you want to do? B? Keep chatting, yeah, because I'm laying down.
Debbie shouting chakras.
Chakras.
Chakras, okay, let's do chakras then. All right, so for many of us, we probably have got some awareness of the chakras and what they are. And really the chakras are really associated actually to the glandular system as well. So all of the glands in the body and these nerve plexus. So these gathering points of nerves that run up through the spine, and again, whether they are expanded or closed, and the ancient yogis would kind of again in their mountain groves, wherever they were, would sit with, again, exploration of what was going on in the body. So they would sit and go into deep meditation. And so a lot of the symbolism, the colours, the kind of qualities of the chakras were initially transmitted through these like sannyasins, really, that, you know, and through all different traditions as well. So we've not only got you know, the Hindu traditions, the Buddhist tradition, so many different systems. But the chakras tend to kind of sit or dwell within the Hindu system. And so when we look at the kind of yogic point of view, for example, if you were going to work with chakras, they actually sit in some ways better in a kind of restorative style class, because of restorative yoga and the kind of Hindu chakra system kind of come together quite well. Yin is slightly different. It is doable, but it is slightly different. So the restorative style is quite nice to work with chakras, and also because you're still for longer, it gives us more time to really sort of kind of feel into, you know, those areas and tap in. So we're kind of looking at these they're kind of seen as vortexes of energy. So these spinning vortexes of energy that actually move through and out both sides of the body. So how many of us have been taught, and this is something that's just shifting for me a little bit at the moment, is that these chakras are these kind of condensed wheels of energy that run along the spine, where actually they're actually quite big. So again, we want to be feeling into them as quite expansive, you know, expansive energies. They're not contained, because that in a way creates this feeling of constriction, whereas actually energy always wants to expand. So as we start to kind of have awareness of our own energy, and yeah, you know, energy is moving all the time. It's expanding, it's contracting, it's expanding, it's contracting. This is the nature of energy. And prana is going to also move and feed through all of these energy centers. It is kind of like the chakras are in some ways like a filtration system of energy through, and how that moves through the body. So if we were to look at down the spine, we would see that there is like what I call, in a practical way, like a tube. So if we imagine there's a tube that runs down right down the center of the body, it runs down through the column of the spine, it goes down into the earth, and it goes up into the sky. So if we were to we had this big channel that runs through the middle. It's called the Sushumna Nadi. And within that channel, we've also got two sub-channels, which are the Ida, which is the left feminine side, and Pingala, which is the masculine right side. So we've got masculine, feminine running through us. We've got this full channel of energy where how we experience energy. And then along that line, we've got these vortexes of energy that run through. Now, we've talked about the heart yesterday being the center point. The lower energy centers are really like our connection to our earthly realm. So how we experience life on the earth. And then the upper energy centers are a bit more into the spiritual life, the more spirit, these upper energies. And it's said that when we're born, we're actually born with all centers fully open, kind of free. And as babies, we're free, we're pure, we've got this lovely flow of energy running through us all the time. And by the age of 5, if not before, we've usually been shut down to the base chakra. And for many people, that is as far, and it's for many people, they stay there for their whole life. So they are in root chakra. Root chakra is actually, as much as it in its beauty, it is the connection to earth. It is our tribe, it's our community, it's connected to the work we do, the money we earn, our family. It's also the chakra of warfare. So it is a chakra of separation as well. It is a chakra of war and fighting, and you did this to me, and you did that to me, and you did this, and you're this, and you're that. So it's a separation in a lot of ways as well. So this root chakra can be all the drama llamas that go on, this, and it can also be this in its flip side, it can also be this most beautiful connection to the earth, to, like I say, how we earn our money, is also often where fear sits. So if we have those anxieties and fears around money and our job, our family, all of these anxieties sit down here in this root area. Its color is red, and it's often represented as a red square. And the deity that sits here is actually the elephant. But what I've just learned is also the red dragon. So there's also dragon energy that sits at this base chakra, as well as the elephant. So if we think about that, we've got these really powerful energies that sit at the base of the body that, again, if we think about an elephant sat there, it's going to give us that rooting, but also we can call upon this dragon energy to also give us the support that we need when we're clearing out the basement. So the dragon can be seen as, this kind of fire-breathing dragon, but a bit like the thing that I just shared in the group, it can also be this idea of facing our fears. So really looking into the eye of the monster and facing our fears. And that is where alchemy happens. Again, the dragon has, the phoenix, or, whatever we want to look at, that has this fire breathing. It can feel scary to look at our basement. It can feel, not pleasant. It's going to feel uncomfortable. But yeah, the alchemy that can happen there is, in that base chakra, is absolutely needed for our growth. And that's why, you know, feeling grounded and safe in the body, as beautiful as it can, fluffy as it can sound, it's also going to bring up all of our fears and demons and, you know, all that stuff. It's going to bring them up to the surface. And if we can sit and stay with it and sit and observe it, we can alchemize it, we can shift it, and we can move it, and we can change it. So, you know, again, we can look at, you know, the Bhagavad Gita story of Arjuna on the battlefield having to fight his friends and his family, and, you know, and these are all the crutches that hold us, you know, in our smallness, really. And so to be able to alchemize that, sometimes we've got to just be fucking brave and just face the demons, look at the fear in the face. And it's a bit like the Wizard of Oz in it, and the wizard being hid behind the curtain. And actually, when we actually face our fears, we see that they're not as big as what we maybe thought they were. And, you know, so we can really look at that, and it can be really lovely. It's also the root is also a place of belonging. And, you know, do I belong in my tribe? And if we have had experiences in our family where, you know, we haven't felt safe, we've talked about it a lot in Earth Element, but this is root chakra. If we didn't feel safe in our early years, then, you know, again, do we feel safe, or can we make our way through the work that we're doing to feel safe within our own body? So do I feel safe in my body? And keep using that question, because it's interesting. And I've just, you know, just kind of working with it myself. And I might have shared it last time through the therapy about moving house all the time when I was little. And that to me is just like, oh, we just moved house. But actually, it's a trauma for a kid to move house that many times and not be told about it. And so my root chakra energy probably has never felt safe, really. And I've always moved house every 2 years. My whole life I've moved. And so, you know, that again, these are the foundations in a way that we're, you know, we're just observing and looking at. Well, there's no wonder. There's no wonder there's no consistency. There's no wonder that I feel anxious and frightened sometimes, and especially when, you know, things are getting rocked a little bit. I can't find my footing because it was always moving. It was always moving. So it's quite interesting to look at that root chakra. And again, it's to do with the pelvis, it's to do with the legs, the feet, safety, but it's also to do with our sex organs. And that's something that I'd not really kind of thought about before, because I've always associated that with the second chakra, which is sacral, to be all our sexuality and sensuality. But the actual sex organs sit at the base. If you think about where that sits, it's the perineum, but it's also like the vagina. It's all of the base energies. So I mean, it made complete sense to me that when I was young, I was quite promiscuous. But again, you know, activating that root chakra every time you have sex, you're going to activate that root chakra. So in a way, you know, this self-regulation through practices that maybe, I mean, not consciously at all at the time, but then when I look back on it, I go, wow, God, yeah, I can see that. I was trying to get some sort of feeling of groundedness through connection to another. And, you know, that was kind of my own story. So this idea of being rooted, being grounded, belonging somewhere, belonging with our tribe, feeling safe within our tribe, and equally for root, really also knowing when we don't feel safe and honoring it. So knowing when the people around us are not our tribe, and being okay with saying this energy don't feel right for me. It's not part of my community, it's not part of my tribe, and that's okay completely. So that is root. And you know, this idea of connection to earth. So we know that if we were to look at somebody that came to yoga, for example, who, you know, one of our students who comes to yoga and is feeling really anxious, we also know that as we're moving into autumn, likelihood is everybody's going to be feeling a bit anxious because it's the shift in the season. So to start working on either root chakra or grounding or whatever is going to support your community to feel safe in their body. You may find that people are coming to classes and going, oh God, I feel absolutely vata deranged. I'm really anxious. I'm all over the place. I've got sciatica. I've got all this stuff going on with my legs, my feet, my pelvis, my lower back's hurting. It's the time of the year for it. So again, we can then, in a way, kind of know what to expect coming into classes, because it's going to really like resonate, especially in that earth element. In the root, because our root is our first connection to earth, so it's our first connection to what's going on out there as well. You know, it's our first connection to the season. So the second, Muladhara means root support as well, by the way. It means root support. So if we were to look at the qualities of earth, they're going to be also the qualities of the root. So you know, if we look at the earth as mother energy, then usually if you've got, you know, if you had a, you know, mother that was supportive, kind, patient, you know, she nourished you, she looked after you, or a female presence that did that for you, female caregiver, then that is kind of like the qualities of mother. If there is a distorted quality of mother, then obviously we want to be reparenting that in a bit by giving ourselves nourishment, support, patience, kindness, and all of them things to help kind of reparent ourselves back into wholeness, back into that root. So Svadhisthana, the second energy center, is the sacred home of I. That is the kind of meaning of the second chakra, and it is governed by the element of water. So, and it's also, I think it's got 2 petals, as I remember. I think there's quite a lot in your manual, but I think it's got 2 petals on the lotus, on the symbolism. And so when we move into the second chakra, we're moving into this idea of 2. So 1 becomes 2. So we've got this base chakra. It's all about me, 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 me. I'm going to fight you if you don't act nice to me, and you're going to trigger my fear. And then we come into the second energy center, which is this idea of 2. So 2. And when we bring together 2, then we can create. So again, we can, you know, we come into the belly of wisdom. The womb is the area of the body. We've got this idea of the element of water. So in the second chakra, we're going to be looking at, and this is really interesting if you observe women. So we haven't got any in our group, but there are some women that'll come to your circles and classes and stuff that have got what I kind of call wooden hips. I don't know if you've come across them yet. So well, actually wooden bodies as well. So the body is so stiff, and the hips are so stiff, they're kind of like wooden. And so in a way, then what we want to try and encourage, if we can, and I'll tell you a story in a minute. We're going to be looking at trying to kind of inject a little bit of fluidity into the hips, a little bit of sensuality. Again, you know, through maybe some dance moves. You might want to add some of those belly dance moves that we did into the belly and the hips. Now, the second chakra is really also about pleasure. And for many women, pleasure is associated to sex. So, you know, we've got this idea that desire and pleasure and all these beautiful energies that sit in the second chakra, which are all about creation and creativity and, you know, nourishing ourselves with this idea of pleasure. And the second chakra also is about receiving. So when we, again, through the sex organs, we are receiving another, we're often receiving another into ourselves. So this energy center is also about receiving and holding. It's like a chalice, because it's the pelvis, it's the pelvic bowl. So it's like this chalice energy that holds. We've got water element there, which is also a recorder and a holder of energy. So we can store, it's a storehouse of all of the stuff that's affected us through our life. It sits here in the womb, in the low belly. And so again, this area, to approach it with kindness, gentleness, lovely fluidity, fluid movement, and maybe womb release, releasing old energy. I don't know if I've talked about this before, but every time that we have sex with another, they leave imprint within our womb space. So working with whether it's yoni steaming or which is a great way to help clear old energy. Belly massage, which is in, I think, your second manual, womb massage, all of these things can really help us to get energy moving around there. So again, this like figure of 8 movements in the hips are really nice to do. Circular movements, pelvic tilts, all of this kind of movement is going to really help us to move energy through that pelvic bowl. So we can recognize again that in women who are in prostitute archetype. We all know that, don't we? Prostitute archetype can be a little bit of restriction of flow of energy. I don't like to think about this idea of being blocked, but I think there can be restriction of energy flowing. I think we always got energy there. It's never completely blocked, but there can be a restriction of flow of energy in there. And so again, if you feel like, oh yeah, I'm really good at giving, which we all are, because we're all doing the work, but I'm not so good at receiving. And a bit like Joy, what you were saying earlier, being able to receive. I mean, I think that's one of the biggest lessons, is to be able to receive support from another is like amazing. So this idea of being able to receive, for me, that's second chakra, being able to receive support from another without because really that second one can be like, no, I can do it myself, I'm going to do it myself, I don't need your help, I'm going to do it myself. So that is a bit of a restriction around there, actually. So we want to be looking at again, like also like feeling into where we get pleasure. So what gives us pleasure? It could be a cake. It might be a lovely, luxurious massage or a bath, or candlelit baths, or a lovely mushy film, or where do you get pleasure? So have an explore of that with the second chakra, because that is really going to nourish. Having like salt baths and petals, it like really go to town as you're working through these. So then we move into Manipura, which is Manipura is the jeweled city, and I believe that the story of this chakra is that when this energy center is spinning well, and it is a spinning well, all disease is eradicated. And what I believe was the understanding of that is that what the ancient yogis knew was when the gut health is at its peak, all disease is eradicated. So it comes back to this idea of this gathering place of the sun, our power. It's like a battery pack. I always think about it like, you know, our source of self. It's where we, you know, if we come back to that idea of glimmer, the she who sources her light from within, I think it comes from here. It comes from here, from this belly of light and wisdom and fire and you know, confidence. It's an action center. It's where we act from out in the world. And so if we were to look at these like kind of a bit like archetypes really, then the solar plexus again is our teenage self. So when we're starting to come into teens, for many of us, I know in my own experience, this is where my will was rising. So it's a center of will, and so my will was rising, and then teachers and parents and stuff are then trying to break your will. If you know, if you feel that, like I really feel that somebody's trying to break your will, that is this energy center really. This is where we do often become broken. It is often where we do lose who we actually are meant to be. Unless we've had parents that have really encouraged that, then, which most of us probably won't have had, I don't expect, then that's where this will can be broken. And I always think about breaking horses, you know, that idea of, you know, the horse is a symbol of freedom, and you know that the horse has to be broken. And I feel like we as women have often, you know, people have tried to break us down, and luckily we're all still here fighting our warrioress energy, which is, you know, gradually coming back now. I think with Manipura is obviously it's our masculine energy. It is associated with this sense of a power, our will, our radiance, our confidence, how we act in the world. But the shadow side to this, which is something that I've learned more over the last, well, quite a while actually, kind of got this insight, is that when we are beginning to, or well, for me anyway, I can only talk for myself really, but when I am feeling tired, and what I tend to find is if I'm heading towards burnout, I start to lose confidence in myself. I start to compare myself to others. They're better than me. Why should I even bother? I'm no good at this. I'm just, yeah, just not very good. And I start doing the beating up of myself. When that happens, that is a sign that my solar plexus is going down. That is a sign that I need to then venture down into my lower energy centers again, go down to base, nourish, patience, kindness, nurture, rest, slow. That will then ignite the next center, which is going to then bring back a little bit of the flow and the ease, a bit of dance, a bit of play, a bit of fun. Second chakra is also the party chakra, by the way. It's also the sex chakra. So again, it's this having a bit of fun, you know, and freedom. And then the light will come back on in the solar plexus. But if you can have an awareness that when you feel a bit like you're doubting yourself, or you think people are attacking you, or, you know, you go into that bit of a victim archetype, if you can feel that victim archetype starting to rise a bit, it sits here because the light energy that comes with this is queen. So we've got queen and victim all playing out in the same place. They're all sitting in here in this city of jewels. So we can be like the queen of our queendom, or we can be the victim of it. So again, we want to be looking at balance always. So we're balancing out you know, the action, which is, you know, is an action chakra, but also maintaining those lower energy centers that help us to support and nourish and nurture. We then come up to Anahata, which again we've talked about already. the energy of love, unconditional love. I think for me, the energy of the flow state sits here. So when we are anchored into heart, we are living our kind of dharma, our truth. This is where we drop it into this flow state. This is heart energy for me. So the heart, again, is this balanced place. So it's the middle point between earth and sky. It is the balance point of giving and receiving. So again, it brings us back to this place again, always, which is where we're always going to come back to, of balance, of harmony. It's represented by the color green. Green is the color of calm, of peace, of harmony. And this is really where the heart sits. And the heart is, like I was saying before, it's the Hridaya is said to be like this fearless heart, the unstruck. It cannot be cut. It cannot be broken. It can, well, the heart can be broken, but the energy of love cannot be. It's where we come from. It is where we return to. So when we die, our essence is love, and it will return back to the source, which is love. So we're born from love and we go back to love. That's where we go back to. So when we die, our essence is that of love. And so really most of our lives, I think we're often trying to find our way back to that point, to that place of love, of kindness, of gratitude. These are all the things that are going to help us to really cultivate this energy of heart. And within all of that, as we've already seen, with that, of course, is grief. And grief is always going to be the representation of how much we've loved. And so, these, we wouldn't be without the love that we've received. It's that thing of, better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. So to have had that love for that period of time is so worth the grief that can occur when that love, is still there. So I mean, the thing is also when we lose someone, we return back to the source, which is love, then it's always there. It's always there. It sits in the prana. The prana is said to be filled with love and light. That is what prana is. So it's not the air that we breathe. It is full. It's full of all of this love energy. So when we tune into the breath in that way, that we think that every time we breathe in and breathe out, we're breathing in this love essence. We're breathing out this love essence. We are part of it. Said that the goddess lives in you as you, or God lives in you as you. And this is the current. This is the current. It's through the breath, and that is how we connect. Prana moves through all of these energy centers. It's communicating all the time with all of the energy centers. We have a little brain that filtrates everything, so we can't see it really. If you've ever took LSD, you will have seen life without the filter, and so this idea of being in the love lane is again living in this flow state, guided by love at all times, trusting it, tending the human muggle self and tending the soul self. So as we come up through these lower energy centers, we know that, again, with the heart and the solar plexus as well, for many women, most women suffer with low confidence. Most of them do. Or they are overly confident, which actually also is a lack of confidence. So, you know, people, if you start kind of reading them through the chakras as you learn more about them, you can kind of start to see people in energy. So you can kind of start to read them in energy, you know what's going on with them. So a Vishuddha, which is throat, so as we move up a little bit, we come up into throat chakra, is this chakra of expression. Is also a chakra of truth. So it's how we communicate our truth with the world, or how we lie to ourselves. So again, with the throat, if you've had you know, childhoods where you've not been able to express, and most of us will have had that, because most of us will have had parents who have said children should be seen and not heard, you know nothing, you're a child, because I said so. All of that is all going to sit right here in the throat chakra. This is where it sits. This is where we swallow our words so we don't get into trouble. And this has been a big thing for me as well, and in my own therapy journey, is being in trouble. I was always in freaking trouble for saying what I thought, always, at home and at school, always in trouble. So my experience with the throat chakra is that if I speak my truth, I will get into trouble. And I don't want to be in trouble all the time. I'm worried about being in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble. And that goes back to the root. So again, you know, so we can see then how for many of us, it's really difficult to be able to bring our voices out into the world to be seen and to be heard, because the root of that may be that is in that, you know, we would have got into trouble for actually speaking out, and that is a conditioning that needs unpicking now at this age. You know, we need to be unpicking this now, that, you know, whether we do that through mantra, through therapy, through talking to someone else, or you know, through energy work and chanting or whatever it is, but Vishuddha or Vishuddhi is the authentic voice. It is the voice of the heart. So it's where we speak from the heart. Energy is moving up and out. You know, it comes up through heart and it's expressed. It's come through all of these filters and it's expressed out through this voice. So with all of the energy centers, we've got colors as well. So if we wanted to, and crystals and, you know, oils and so much stuff you can work with chakras. But if you wanted to activate or bring focus to a particular chakra and you go, oh yeah, I completely resonate. This one definitely needs sorting out. I'd always start with root anyway, but you can either wear a colour, you could wear, you know, a scarf. Turquoise is the colour of throat. You might wear a turquoise pendant. You might use something like a bit like lavender. Actually, is quite nice for the throat. Frankincense is actually a nice one also to use on the throat. Or some of the high kind of top note oils are quite good for throat as well. Things like eucalyptus and peppermint and, you know, the lifted ones are quite good for throat as well. So root chakra is red, Svadhisthana is orange, Manipura is yellow, golden like the sun, Anahata is green or pink, throat is turquoise. So all of these, you know, you can either wear all of the chakras, but one of the things we used to do with root chakra is wear red knickers. Yeah, you could wear red knickers. That will help bring focus to the root chakra. The second chakra, you could wear like a hip scarf. That's a really nice way to bring awareness to, you know, to that lower belly area. Then we've got Ajna Center again. As we move up, we're coming into these more subtle energies. Ajna is the third eye, the intuition, the all-seeing eye. It's said to be the size of 3 fingers on its side, like that. So that is the size of third eye, apparently, on the Marmor point. And it's called also the Shiva point. So it's also called a Shiva point. And the story of Shiva is that he will blast light out from his third eye, and he's a destroyer. So he will, he's a god of consciousness, a deity of consciousness. So this is the third eye point. It's the energy of inner vision. It's also associated with the eyes as well. So anything that we do for eyes, whether it's eye exercises, might do the eye exercises. Candle gazing is great for this energy center. Even actually the blindfold. So if you did the blindfold dance, that's things like that are great for third eye. Amethyst, so any kind of purpley crystals. You could have like bindi is quite good to wear, a bindi for the day, just to bring focus there onto the third eye as well. And also actually it is for the archetype here is the I think it's a creatrix, as I remember. I think it's a wild creatrix. So it's the creatrix, but also the dreamer. So it's like this dream weaver as well. So we've got these lovely dreamy archetypes that come up in these upper energy centers. And then we've got the Sahasrara, which is the crown chakra. And this is our connection, as I said earlier, to divine energy. So this divine source energy that will often have within it, like Bev was saying, all the kind of ideas and flows. And this is why with the feminine, we need to feel into this, because as consciousness comes in, it will be a lot of consciousness coming in through crown chakra. So it might be so many different ideas, but they might not all be for you. So you want to be, really discerning, because this upper energy centers, I always associate to Kali energy. So goddess Kali is a goddess of discernment, and she carries this sword of discernment. So with this energy of the crown and divine energy, you want to be like I said yesterday, bringing it, you're kind of bringing it down and into the body, writing down the ideas that are coming, and then feeling into them. Does this feel light? Does this feel heavy? Is this taking me in the direction where I'm going, or is it taking me off piste? So like if you think about that vata derangement, which is, I want that, I want this, I want that, I want that, there's every single possibility in this world for you. Every single possibility is there for you. Everything is there for you. So as you are getting more grounded, then hopefully, if you remember this, sit and stay with it for a bit before you act on it. If you learn anything from me, because this has been my path for years, and one of the biggest teachings I've had from this training has been to sit and stay with this Tejas energy. Sit and stay with it, write it down. Does it land? Is it if I embody it, if I feel into it and really feel into it, is this right for my soul? Because again, this idea that when we slow down, we can feel it. We can feel if that's right for us or not. And we can really discern if it's right for us or not. And it's quite interesting that sometimes you'll see other people doing stuff that you might have had an idea of, and somebody else has done it. And that's because it's in the consciousness. And sometimes, and I used to find this a lot, I'd have an idea to do something, and then somebody else would be doing it. And you're like, oh, bloody hell, they're doing it now. And have they copied me? And sometimes they maybe did copy, I don't know, but oftentimes it's just because it was around in the consciousness, in the conscious field. And so, you've tapped into it because maybe it is meant for you, but then again, maybe it isn't. So I think it's a good idea to sit with it and just sit and stay with things as you're getting them, because there's so much out there.
Can I just add something to that? What you're saying about the ideas. If you read Liz Gilbert, Big Magic.
Yeah, she talks about it, doesn't she, in there?
These ideas, and they'll go, and they go, all right, you're not listening. So they move on. That's in effect what she's saying.
Yeah, that's
that
it.
They are not, that they'll visit many people.
Yeah, many people. Mm-hmm.
One who's receptive or discerning enough to go, oh,
yeah, I think that is
with me kind of thing. It's
sure.
The way she about it's the book that she never wrote, isn't it?
Yes, that was it. Yeah, the book.
Well, she wrote the draft
Magic,
of it, and then someone else wrote
it.
And it was a bestseller.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Everyone should read Big Magic.
Yeah, they definitely should. Did we not have Big Magic in Water Element? I think we did.
Yeah.
It was a book recommendation in Water Element, I think. Yeah, but yeah, definitely it is. It's that. Yeah, it is that. It is that idea of just being discerning, because I have been on so many wild goose chases doing different training and going off doing this, and then I'm doing that, and it is very ADHD anyway in its essence. It is that, but it's been great. But I think I did eventually get to a point of like, does this take me towards what I'm doing, or is it just taking me away from it? Because air element and the mind are tricksters. They are tricksters. So they will take you away from, the ego will take you away from growth sometimes to kind of distract you a little bit. So just been a bit aware of that as well. So that's the 7 chakra system. And then we've got these 2 new chakras, which I have not done a lot of work with actually. So this is quite new for me as well. And they're very similar to the kind of the ones just below. So Earth Star chakra is said to be the womb of Gaia. So this is going lower down, and it's said that the location of it is 12 to 18 inches below the feet. So if we were to stand on the earth outside in bare feet, then you would just journey down a little bit, and then the Earth Star chakra would sit there. Its element is earth, same as the root chakra. And the colour is a deep black gold, smoky copper or molten silver. So through the tantric lens, the Earth Star chakra is the sacred pulse of Shakti as earth, the womb of the mother that births all creation. Now I'll share this into a group as well. I've written it out for you. So beneath the soles of the feet lives a glowing star, your Bhumi Nabi, the navel of the earth. So it's a place where your spirit roots into the body of Gaia, where the invisible becomes embodied, and where heaven descends into form. So this is the womb beneath the womb, the source of your belonging, your safety, your stillness, and your remembrance. So again, we come back to that idea of smarana. So when you close your eyes and breathe downward, your energy begins to spiral through your legs like roots seeking its home. So when we do that rooting down in the early part of the classes, that is starting to root down into this earth chakra. So you arrive here at the shimmering black gold heart of the Earth Star. It hums with a low primal rhythm, the heartbeat of the mother. Tantra meets embodiment. Shakti grounds into matter, and consciousness finds its vessel. So you are reminded that your body is not separate from earth. She breathes through you. Now, in your earth manual, there's a practice called yin earth breathing. And you can do this practice. This is really nice to work with the chakras, where you breathe in, and as you breathe in, you visualize your energy going down, And then as you breathe out, you imagine earth breathes back into you. So we've got these two kind of forces of energy. So as you breathe in, you send your energy down into earth, and then as you breathe out, she breathes into you. Now, what I've been doing just recently is what I call chakra flossing. So we do that practice through the chakras. So you breathe down into earth, earth breathes back into the base chakra, down into earth, into second chakra, down into earth, into third, and through and through and through until you get through all of these chakras, and then go into vertical alignment breath. So sky to heart, heart to earth, earth to heart, heart to sky. And I call it chakra flossing. So it like clears through the central channel of energy that again connects us to these two centers above and below. So you can play with that as well. So you're reminded that your body is not separate from earth. She breathes through you. Every cell is clay, stardust, water, and song. The earth star is where you release what you no longer need. The density, the shadow, and the ancestral weight is all offered back into the fertile soil to be composted into light. So what we were saying earlier about the earth loves to compost all of your shit. So all of the stuff that we don't want, you can send it down them roots back into earth, and she will compost it into something new. So the earth star is where you release what you no longer need, and it's from this surrender that you rise again. Now, we were talking about the phoenix yesterday, luminous, rooted, and whole. So when in balance, you feel held, nourished, connected, and protected by the earth. There is trust in life cycles. Your energy is grounded yet vibrant, and your body temple feels like home. When blocked or underactive, you feel unanchored. We know the feeling, vata deranged, disconnected, drained, or anxious. And there might be resistance to stillness or to being fully in the body. You might struggle to rest or trust the natural unfolding of life. So the again, the mantra is Lam. It's the same as the root chakra one. So again, it is connected to root chakra. It's just a little bit lower. And the earth, from the tantric reflection, the earth star chakra is where the goddess teaches union through surrender. So we've talked about that a little bit this weekend, and there's a bit more there, and I'll share it into the group. So that's your earth star. The soul star, which is the one above, and sometimes we send our life thread up to catch our soul star. Sometimes we do that, and you just catch hold of that soul star up above. So the soul star is the Sahasrara Vyoma chakra, the luminous bridge of spirit. So the mantra is Soham. So you may have heard Soham. And Soham means I am that. So you might have heard that before as well. I am that I am. So it is that is the mantra. So the colour is diamond white and golden light. And it is said to be the womb of the stars. So the soul star chakra is the radiant halo of your higher essence, the golden lotus that hovers above your crown, pulsing with remembrance. She is the cosmic womb where spirit and form unite, the subtle realm of divine light that flows down through your crown, animating the body with soul purpose. So again, I was saying yesterday about to be inspired is to be in spirit. That is this energy. That is this energy center. So through the tantric lens, the chakra is not an escape from the body, but a flowering through it. So we talked yesterday about embodiment and not hanging out up here where, we're up in these realms up here, but actually kind of getting hold of the soul energy and bringing it down so that it can be embodied and expressed through you. So we're not disengaged from it, or we're not disembodied from it. is the point where Shakti and Shiva dissolve into unity, where the feminine, Chrissy? Oh. Chrissy, are you asking something? Oh. Chrissy?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Were you asking something?
No. I just lost my. I moved everything back up on the table. I lost
Oh,
my.
okay. Okay. All right.
Right.
That's cool. So, so yeah. So the point where Shakti and Shiva dissolve into unity, where the feminine current, the descending grace, meets the masculine current ascending consciousness. So we've got these two energies moving in harmony together, the masculine and the feminine coming together. And here the inner flame merges with the eternal flame, the sacred marriage between heaven and earth, essence and embodiment. And we've got to remember this embodiment piece because it's really, really important. The soul star reminds us that enlightenment is not outside of us. It is the remembering of our own divinity expressed through this sacred form. So again, we come back to this idea that to be inspired and to be in spirit, we also need to be in this human muggle as well. So we've got to express ourselves through the muggle. So when awakened, you feel luminous yet grounded. I think Jules has already kind of expressed that a little bit. So you're feeling this luminosity, but you're grounded within it. You're guided by an inner knowing and in flow with the divine intelligence that moves our life. So again, this is this leaning back, I always think with this. It's this kind of just leaning back into surrender. You're no longer seeking. You are the prayer, the breath, and the offering. I love that. So sweet. So if we think about the idea of the butterfly, if we try and grasp it, it's going to fly away from us. But yet, if we sit still, it's going to come and sit on our lap. It's kind of like that energy. So when it's in balance, we feel deep peace and surrender to divine timing. We feel guided and supported by unseen forces. We have a strong connection to intuition, to light code and inner wisdom. A sense of unity and love for all beings, and we live with grace, trust, and radiance. And if we're disconnected from soul, from this chakra, we have a disconnection from our soul's purpose, spiritual exhaustion, or overextension. And what I'd say with that also is that with this sort of work is we need the polarity of the muggle as well. So don't forget your Netflix and your takeaways as well, because they play a part as well. I've had many years where I'm just in spiritual, I'm not doing that muggle stuff, I'm not having a telly, I'm not having a takeaway, I'm not doing all that, I'm going to be pure. But yeah, and I'm going to be with a partner that does all the work as well, and he's going to be that, and it's all going to be that, and I've done all of that shit, and it doesn't work. It's too much. It's too much. We have to be in the world and not of the world. So we do have to be in the world. We do have to be in the muggle, because actually most of the time that's where we are. It's most of our lives, isn't it? We're in this muggle shit where we've got to, wash the dishes and get, do the bloody washing and make the dinner and earn the money and, all of that muggle stuff that we got to do. But how lucky are we to be able to marry that with the spiritual as well? I mean, that's just a blessing, isn't it? It's such a gift to be able to do both of them. But you can't have too much of that, I don't think, unless you can live in an ashram. If you can live in an ashram, that's amazing. I would love to do that. Just not have any bills, no rent to pay, no food to cook, just live on dal. My idea of fucking heaven, just being silent, don't have to talk to anybody, see anybody, put a thing over my head, silence here, silence, I'm in silent retreat. Yeah, that'd be fucking ace. Some days, not many days. So yeah, unless you're going to do that, we got to live in the householder. This is the householder life, which is harder, I'll tell you now, I'm sure, than the ashram life. So, oh yeah, I've finished that anyway. Yeah, so that's good. Oh, out of balance. Yeah, I've done that. Oh yeah. Oh God, yeah, here we are. So, yeah, feeling ungrounded or lost in the ether, doubt in divine guidance or loss of faith, and spiritual bypassing or detachment from embodiment. This is a big thing at the moment, I think. And I think in the consciousness, I believe this is what is being seen at the moment. We can see all the spiritual bypassing, the leapfrogging, the leapfrogging over all of our shit to be up here on the gymnastics on the mat kind of vibe, and not honoring the human. And allowing ourselves to be real. And I think to be real is quite a big thing nowadays in this world, to be actually authentically real with who we are and where we are on our path. Because what help would it be to anybody to be going at the front of your class and going, yes, I've got it all sorted out, got nothing, got no work to do, I'm all sorted out. You're not. It just doesn't kind of bode well, does it really? Bit disempowering, I think. So yeah, that's my little mini delivery of the chakras. I hope that was helpful. They'll be like, you find out way more than that. That's just a mini delivery of that. There's quite a bit in your manuals. And like I say, I'll share a few books I've loved reading and playing with. And so the main thing for you as teachers, and in your book, there's a little exercise that you can do at the end, which is how you would recognize an imbalance in a student or a like customer, not customer. What's the fucking name of a? What's the name of somebody who comes to you for treatment? It's not a customer, is it? Chrissy, what's it?
Client.
The client. That's. I can't think of the name of it then. My brain. A client. Yeah. So how you would recognize that in a client. And so there is a little exercise if you want to use it of how you would. And the thing is with the chakras as well is, of course, they're all in elements. So how we would bring balance, you probably know this already, but if you were to get somebody who was really anxious, out of the body, that are deranged, what element would we work with to bring it into balance? You're going to work with earth. Yeah, so we're going to use the opposites. Somebody who is really low in confidence, having digestive issues, really earth is going to be the remedy for pretty much everything, really, apart from depression. So depression really is going to be helped with these upper, air elements. So somebody who's in fear and anxiety is not going to be really balanced by more of that air element. It's going to need earth. But if we're in that heavy, depressive, slow, lethargic state, then obviously a little bit of air and some fire is probably going to be great for them. So, we can look at this, how we use opposites to balance out, and this can work in the chakras as well. We know that sound, because this is, the throat chakra is very much associated with sound and listening. So we know that to balance the throat, so if you've got any blockages here for ourselves or for our students, or you want to do a class on it, you're going to want to be making some sound. So you're going to want to somehow be chanting or singing or something to help clear the throat. And most women need their throat chakras opening because we're nearly all shut down in the throat. So if you were to do 2 things, root support, earth support, slowing down, you could do your whole business on that and it would be a winner. That would be all you have to do for the rest of your life. You would change the fucking world if you just did earth element. But also if you free women with their voices. So again, singing, chanting, sounding, speaking their truth, you know, sharing circles, this sort of thing is all helpful to free the throat chakra. Buddha behave. Buddha's pulling my carpets up. So yeah, how's that sitting for everyone? Happy? You got the vibes? Great, let's have a break. And then we'll come back and just have a little play with these postures and then and then we'll finish for the weekend. Can't believe it's all done nearly.
Andrea,
any questions? Yeah.
What was the one, the soul star? What was it? What was the Sanskrit name for that?
Sanskrit name was Sahasrara Vyoma Chakra.
Oh my God, that's a mouthful.
Sahasrara Vyoma Chakra. I'll put it in. I'll just hang on a minute. I'll do it now so I don't forget. I'll put the PDF of these 2 in the group. Did you see my little thing that I put in? Giddy up sparkle farts. We've got fuckery to spread. I thought that was very funny. My stupid sense of humour. Let's see if I can find it. There it is. So I'll put that information in. There's a bit more on there as well as like affirmations and stuff. I've got the most stupidest sense of humour, honestly.
We both love that one.
Oh, you're too stupid as well then. Brilliant.
I love that. And we were just sharing the one, it reminded me from Strictly Come Dancing last night where they were doing Dolly Parton. And all I keep looking at you and I'm going, the bigger the hair, the closer to God.
Oh my God, maybe that's the thing.
It's Dolly Parton. That's what it is.
Fucking
the bigger the hair, the closer to God.
And actually, that's probably what these dreadlocks represent. Because if you look at alt sannyasins, they all have these dreads, don't they? Like really high up on their head. Is weird. Oh my goddess! I don't know if I've done the right thing now. Anyway. I'll tell you when I've done bridge pose in a minute and it's all fallen out. And it all collapses all over my head. I look like Cousin It.
Is it heavy, Andrea?
Yeah.
Is it giving you
it's not too bad. It's actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought they're quite light, you know, they're synthetic, so they're actually quite light. I find it more comfy when it's up, that's for sure.
Is it tight?
It's not, no, actually no. It's actually quite comfortable. I'm really surprised. I think it depends about your loctician as well. I mean, she's you know, she's really good, I think, and she was recommended to me by someone else. So I think she said that they shouldn't hurt really. I mean, they're a little bit pulley around the bottom, a little bit, but when I take it down, they're okay. She actually told me not to wear them up like this for a week, but they just look so weird when they're down. But then Michael was like, "Oh, you should." I liked them down, but I don't. They feel really flat to me when they're down. You see, because I'm used to having a bit of hair, and so they feel really flat. And I do look like actually Jack Sparrow.
It looks great.
But I think I quite like it. I'm getting used to it. I've just seen Joe Long's just put a thing on my post saying, "Oh, I fancy him." It'll suit you. But I think I've been having a look on. There's loads of styling videos on on YouTube. I think once they've settled and I'm a bit, because at the moment I'm a bit scared I pull them out, so I'm being a bit gentle with them. I don't think you have to be that gentle with them, to be honest. You can like tie them in knots and do some really cool stuff with them. So I think, and also at the moment they actually feel like really like they're starting to soften a bit, but they're really stiff. So as they soften, I think they're a bit easier then to manage as well. But because you can wash them, you just wash them once a week, which is fine by me because I really want to get away with. I really want to get away from putting a lot of chemicals on my head. And colouring it, you see, as well. That was really the main reason for doing it, because I just want to stop colouring it all the time. So, but yeah, I quite like it. You're going to get some?
No.
Oh.
I went down the, I've had extensions and stuff like that in my hair, and I just can't cope. I couldn't cope with that much hair. It feels like someone's attached another limb to my
Yeah,
head.
that's how it kind of feels to me.
Really bizarre.
Very long. It's a lot longer than I thought it were going to be, actually.
Yeah.
So for me to go from short, I mean, I've had short hair for years and years and years. To go from that to having like absolutely loads of hair and beads and all this stuff is like, fucking hell, it's like really like it's such a big change.
Have you got to put it in like a silk bag to sleep in?
I haven't done, but I was told about them yesterday.
Yeah.
I've been on Temu, is it, what's it called? Temu.
Yeah, Amazon sell them as well.
Been on there and they sell, or does Amazon sell
Or just, if they're massive, just get yourself a satin or silk pillowcase.
Yeah, it stops them tangling up. I mean, they're already ratty as hell already. And I've only had them 5 minutes. So, but when I leave here, I'm going to my daughter's to see my grandmother. Hallie will have an absolute meltdown when she's eating them. She'll be trying to pull them out. She'll be wanting to pull all beads out and stuff. Yeah. So I don't know. I'll see. Going to be interesting in court.
Yeah. Definitely will look like a cult leader.
So we'll see. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, second day I was going to take them out. I really didn't like them, but I think I'm getting used to them. I think I quite like. I'll feel better because I want to grow my hair down a bit here, so I've got a bit of like fluff, a bit feminine around the front, I think. So I'll feel a bit better when I've got a bit of that. I suppose I could pull some of the dreads down there and make a bit of a thing on the side. But yeah, it's weird because I've never ever done anything like this before. I've never had hair extensions or nothing like that before. So it is taking a bit of getting used to.
It really suits you. It looks like you've had them forever.
Thank you. Does it? Oh, that's nice to know.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got to go back in 8 weeks to get them redone. And then, if I want anything tweaking, I can get it done then. I might get some of the hairy bits because she's done like some proper hair bits. I don't know if I like them. They're like a bit like Barbie hair. I might have them took out. But I'll see. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go have a wee and just grab a quick cuppa and then we'll get back. See you in a minute.
Deb, do you want a cuppa?
Okay,
Are you sure?
Got a bit sidetracked there with all pets. Hang on. Talking to myself again. Go on out then, babe. Do that way. Come on, in here. Look in there. Boy. Good boy. Jumping away to myself there. Right. Right. You're right there, Debs. Chilled out. Love it. I just put my mic on. Can you hear me all right? Yeah. All right, good. I'm going to take my cup of tea over there with me and just check that you can see all right. So let me put that. Oh my God, you two. Bloody hell, you don't bring them to bloody training, do you?
Pete's in chef retreat mode, ready for the 7th of November. So we're testing out his vegan cakes. Yeah, we didn't test any yesterday because he had a disaster.
Get on it when we come into training next.
I'll ask him.
Get on cake trail, girls.
That's it.
Pleasure and joy and all of that stuff. All right, good. All right, can you see all right if I'm here? Can you hear me all right from here? Yeah, can you see? You might need to, and actually I'm gonna just put my just put this onto pin this up onto screen, and then so when you look back on it, it'll be big so you can see it better. Hopefully. Looks like a right tip in here, doesn't it? No, it isn't that bad. Well, it is actually. Chrissy knows what it's like behind the scenes in here. All right, good. So if we
Andrea,
hello.
This is beautiful. You want to come to my house?
Why is your house worse?
A lot. So yours is perfect.
Ah, thank you. Thank you. Actually, I've got a new camera on my thing. Bought a new camera, and this camera has got a really wide lens. So before you used to only be able to see to end of them drawers and this little corner. Now you can see all my little clutter space with my altar and stuff in this corner. You never used to be able to see that, and I don't quite know how to remedy it. So I think it's something to do with the setting on the camera. All right, good. So we're going to look at we've got a few preps that can be used for the Sacred Heart sequence. So if you wanted to make this into like a full class, you could add in these preps, and these will give us even more access to like the heart and to really like open up this space. So we've got in your manual, there's something called the wrist stretch, and you can there's a little piece in it with wrist exercises. So like come up to you actually to show you this. So these kind of exercises, down and up, these, when we do this reversed prayer, these are going to help with getting our wrists a little bit more supple. And actually the hands and fingers are actually quite good to work with, because as we get older, it can often be the wrists and the fingers that get a bit arthritic and stuff. So encouraging these movements in the hands and fingers is always going to be good. And so any movement that we can bring there is going to be really beneficial. So we might actually just add in some like outward wrist rotations, inward like floreo kind of movements, just to bring some movement in. So we've also got like a palm press as well. So we can kind of try this kind of movement as well, which will also help with rotation on the wrist if you know, people want to work towards taking the hands into reverse prayer. And then also kind of this kind of opening up and drawing the shoulders back and down. So again, just kind of opening up all this chest space. Now, in our day-to-day lives, if we look at posture, most people are either like that on the phone, driving, computers. This is the posture really of our culture, this. So anything that's doing the opposite of that, again, we're looking at balance. So all of these movements where we're drawing the chest back and up is going to give us the opposite of what we naturally do in our day-to-day life. So they're the wrist stretches. The other one that is a bit more of a yin, it's actually taken from yin, is where you're going to come onto all fours and then we turn the hands back and in. So the fingertips are going to face towards the knees, and then you can feel a really intense stretch up this inner line, which I believe is the lung meridian that's been pulled up there. So it's coming up through the thumb and up through the lung meridian, heart meridian, I think. Is that right, Chrissy? She's probably got more idea of that.
Both.
It's what? Both, yeah. So lung
heart,
and heart. So,
heart, lung, and pericardial.
Yeah, nice. So that's going to give us, again, open up those channels that are going to open up into the lungs and the heart. So again, for if you have got any startings of a cold or any lung stuff going on, I'll have to get Michael on this actually. Practicing this is going to be good to help open up those channels. Okay, so just have a play with that and just see again I mean, it's not going to be for everybody because obviously it's going to depend where the bones are situated in the wrist, and if you know if that works okay for the wrist, and if not, you could use some support there. You might use some padding, a blanket or something to help support the wrist. Okay, is that all right for everyone? Wrist stretches, yeah? Y'all had to go with that. And then we've got the weaving cat, or this can also be, I think it's called thread the needle as well. So with this, again, we've got on all fours. You might want a pillow there, so that can be helpful sometimes. But we're going to sweep the arm open, and then we're going to take it and sweep it underneath and bring the head down. So you might do it a couple of times. So open, and then again sweep. This again is going to open up that heart channel, lung channel. So open, and then the last one you might just hold it for a little bit. I love this because it opens up all of the back of the shoulder. It's so nice. And then you do it on the other side. So just try it on both sides. And as you're opening up, we're breathing in because we're opening up that space, breathing in, and then breathing out as you come down. Breathing in as you open, and then breathing out as you come down. Okay, and then just have a go on the other side. It's called the weaving cat. So this is going to open up the upper thoracic spine, so just between the shoulder blades. It's another nice movement to use for people like if they've been on computers all day. So it's really good to kind of open up the shoulders and the upper back. Has everyone got that all right? Is everyone, yeah, does that feel okay? Yeah, you've all got it? Great. All right, so this one I absolutely do love as well. This is called the spiral. I need a cushion for this. So this is so lovely to just work really slowly with. And I'm just hoping I'm not going to set off my vertigo while I'm doing it. So I'm going to come onto my side with the bottom arm is going to be extended out. And the hips, I'm hoping you can see that. The hips are stacked on top of each other and the knees are on top of each other. So hopefully you can see that okay. And then I'm going to bring the palms together in front of me like this. Okay. So from here, we're going to breathe in. And as you breathe in, we're going to just slide the top arm up the inside of the arm, across the chest, and open to the other side. And you're going to look towards the right hand. I'm not going to look there because I'm going to go dizzy. And then we're going to bring the right hand again, fold it in to the shoulder, slide it across the chest and back on top of the other arm. So we're breathing in, we're going to slide across the arm. We'll roll to the right, but my head's not going to do that because I'm going to go dizzy. And then we're going to breathe out as you roll and sweep the arm across again. I'm just going to do that a couple more times. So you're breathing in as you're opening out. And then the arm kind of folds back in and slides across as you breathe out. So you're breathing in as you open and then breathe out as you close. And then again, if you want to stay open for a bit, you can take a few breaths. So everyone got that all right? Can't see you all. Anyone got any questions, Chrissy?
No, I was just putting something in.
Oh, that's fine, Chrissy. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. Don't worry. Air element.
It was my daughter.
Yeah, I bet she air element as well.
No, she's got places to be and places to go.
Has everyone got that all right? Are you feeling it? Yeah, so the arms are like that. If I do it standing. So you're kind of on your side. The arm comes across the chest and opens out. And then it comes to the shoulder, pushes across the chest and brings you back. So breathing in and breathing out. Yeah? You all got that all right? Looks like you do. And you can try it without the pillow. I tend to use a pillow because I've got a bit of vertigo, but you don't have to use a pillow. You can try it with the head on the floor, but then I find my neck goes out a bit with that. But then you can leave it open so you can stay in that open lying twist. So
Andrea, sorry, when I do it as well,
yeah,
I might do a few on each side, but then actually alternate sides.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
So you can come to that version where you're
then roll over.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, I just thought I'd throw that in.
No, that's lovely. Yeah, absolutely. And then you can hold it a bit if you want, because I always find that open, it's a bit like lying twist really, but that lovely openness of the heart as you in that open. But these are really great postures, like preps, movements that you can do before you do your sacred heart sequence, because that's going to really open up the heart before you even start on that sequence. So you could use that as a prep if you wanted to make that a full class. You could add those in, you know, with the tapping. You could actually, with sacred heart, it could actually be immune boost. That could be an immune boost class, because the whole thing is going to be working around here. So that could go into so many different areas. You know, you could use it in a grief release class. You could do it as like I say, immune boost, open your heart, sacred heart, you know, your Valentine's Day, you know, self-love for Valentine's Day or whatever, for people who aren't in a relationship. And like, there's so many different ways that you could use that class. Anyone got any questions on that? Everyone got it? Yeah. All right, so 2 postures we've got. I'll start off with bridge. So bridge pose, or also is called the golden breath bridge as well, which is a different variation on it. And the bridge is heart opening, but it's also going to work on throat chakra. It's actually, I find it works more on throat chakra actually, because when you're in bridge, what happens is you've got this compression around the neck. So if we know that when we compress something, when we release it, it gets flooded with fresh energy. So for those of you that feel you might have a constricted throat chakra, bridge is going to be your pose. It's definitely going to be your pose. So it's really nice. The bridge is a metaphor though as well, that we can add to the stories or whatever that we want to use with bridge, is again this idea of bridging. So bridging between what was and what's yet to come. So it might be that you work with bridge, and you might work with the woman that you were, the girl that you were, and the woman that you're yet to become, and you might use that as a bit of a metaphor. So it strengthens the chest, the neck, the spine. It wakens the heart, the lungs, the thyroid gland, and the parathyroid glands are all bathed with fresh blood. So again, for anybody with hypothyroid, like this is my posture that I always do bridge pose within my sequences, because it helps with the thyroid balance. So anybody with thyroid issues, bridge is going to be really nice. Now, in water element, we had waterfall pose. So you could couple it with waterfall and use a bolster, so that in a supported bridge, you've got your hips on the bolster, feet on the floor, and then all you've got to do then is flip the legs up. So they're quite nice ending postures. But also bridge, because of the way it flows the spine, you could also use it as a prep pose for your sacred heart sequence as well, because in the golden breath bridge, what happens is as you're lifting up the hips, the arms are coming up and back, so you're also getting that shoulder rotation, and shoulder and chest and upper back opening as you're working with bridge, which will also prep up the shoulders and spine for the sacred heart if you wanted to use it that way. So you can also use it that way as well. The other thing with bridge is it actually, if you think about the nature of it, what you do, it's an inversion. So what you're actually doing is you're turning the body upside down. So if you were to think about where the organs are, you've got like the womb here, and then all of the digestive organs here, the liver, the spleen are all here. So when you lift everything up, what happens is where all the weight is kind of rested here, it's all turned upside down. So the pressure is taken away from the womb, from all these organs, and which kind of gives it all a bit of a rest, a bit of a break. So it's very good for again flooding the spine with fresh energy, flooding all of these internal organs with fresh energy as well. So I'll show you the flow with it, and again you can use a bolster, which I'll show you in a minute. But to set it up, we're going to lay down. I usually quite like to bring my knees in, and just do a little bit of cradle first. So just rocking, just to settle the lower back down into the floor. And then from there, the feet are going to go down as close as you can get them towards the buttocks, so that the feet are hip width apart and they're flat on the floor. So again, you get that grounding through the feet. I like to just give my spine a little rock so that it's nice and flat towards the floor. And then I'm going to tuck my chin in. So again, I've got that, the back of the neck is not kind of constricted back. So the chin's tucked in, so I'm going to get that nice compression around my throat. The arms are going to go down by my side with the palms flat. But what I quite like to do before I go in is to just do this pelvic rocking. So I'm going to breathe in and create an arc in the lower back as I push the tailbone down, and then breathe out as I push the lower back down. So I like to just start to get that rocking motion going first of all. So just gently feeling into the lower spine. And then I'm going to start to peel the spine. So I want to imagine the spine is like a string of pearls. And it's just as if you're going to pick up one extra pearl and lay it down. So we're going to breathe in and lift a little bit. And then breathe out, lower it down again. And then we're going to breathe in, lift it up a little bit more. So just coming up another couple of pearls off the floor. And then breathe out, lower it down a little bit more. So as you're lifting, your buttocks are going to be getting strong. So you're going to need to engage a little bit into the buttocks. And you might feel it also in the quads. You probably will. So we're stretching out these nice big muscles in the quads. The buttocks are strengthening. We're starting to bring that nice flow through the spine. We've got some nice blood flow moving through the digestive organs. This posture is actually really great for digestive issues. So those of you that might have a bit of IBS, this can be really settling for that as well. So eventually, we're going to get to a point where we feel most of the spine's off the floor, the shoulder blades are still in contact, the chin is tucked in, the arms can be flat down by the sides, and again we've got that compression in the neck, and then we're going to breathe. So you might take about 5 breaths there. It might feel quite strong on the quads. And if it feels too strong, or if you're on your period or anything like that, we don't normally go into these more inverted postures. You might just have like a really low brick underneath the back of the pelvis. Or you could also have the bolster underneath there as well. And then we're going to gently lower down. So just nice and slow. Again, the visualization of the pearls just been laid back down on the floor. So each part of the spine is laid down. And then I quite like to, when I finish, turn my toes in and my heels out and just let my knees rest together. And then the golden breath bridge is where the arms are going to come up as well. So we're going to lift the arms up and lift the spine all the way off as the arms come up and right overhead, if again the shoulders will allow. And then we're going to lower down as the arms come down. And then you might actually have that idea of the breath being like golden. So you're breathing in this golden flow of energy right up through the spine, breathing in and then breathing out as you lay the spine back down. So again, just coming back to that visualization of the spine being like a string of pearls. Because we've had that inversion on the spine, you might want to bring the knees in and just give them a little hug and a little rock. So just releasing off the lower back. So let me see everybody. How's everyone doing with that? Did you get it? Yeah, you all got it, yeah? Everybody okay? Did you try it with the arms as well? So obviously the problem, bye Chrissy, I'll see you tomorrow. The issues that we might have is shoulders, so with the golden breath anyway. So if we're taking the arms up and back, it's quite strong. So that might be too much. Usually most people are okay with it. Vertigo obviously can be a bit of a problem. So maybe having the head a little bit lifted, but that can put a bit of pressure on. But if somebody's got vertigo, the opposite of it is probably going to be something like cat. So that's probably going to give us that flow through the spine. So that could be an alternative to bridge. The other thing you can do is you can do it in a chair, whereby you kind of lifting the chest forwards and then releasing it back. So that might work as an option if you're doing chair yoga. And like I say, you can also use a bolster to support, so you've got that supported bridge if you want to hold it for longer as more of a restorative pose. So if that was the case, you wanted to do more restorative and you wanted to hold it longer, you wanted to treat more around the throat area, then having that bolster there to support, you could do that as well, and it's a bit more relaxed then. Anyone got any questions? All good? Yeah. All right, so the last posture is going to be supported fish pose, and that can be done in a couple of different ways. I quite like, there's a few different setups for this actually. So if you have got the luxury of having two bolsters, then you can have one across the top and one rested on like that. If you don't have two, you could use a block or two. So you could use a block under there. Again, we want to make sure the blocks are not going to collapse when we lay down on it. So maybe two like that would work. But really, if we can, a little bit of an elevation. The other way you can do it is to have like a pillow on the top and here, but this creates quite a big arc into the lower back, I find. But if people have not got any problems with the lower back, then that's fine. So supported fish is going to be, we're going to sit again just with the lower back kind of rested close to the end of the bolster. I tend to like to bend my knees just to ease myself down. So again, you're going to make adjustments wherever you need them. But if you need a bit more elevation underneath the head, again, if you've got vertigo, then you might need a bit more here. The arms are down by your sides, palms flat down, shoulders relaxed. Legs can be extended, or you might go into goddess legs here as well. So you it's a bit of a different posture, but if you wanted to, you could do that. Or if the legs are extended is too much, you can just bend the knees. So just have the knees bent, maybe even rest them together. So you're getting that nice rested place. Arms a little bit away from the body. We want space with this under the armpits, because that is where lymphatic system's gonna do its work. So the arms are a little bit away. Usually I would use this at the end of the class, fish pose. So again, with this one, we've got the opening of the heart, and you can feel that. It is, again, with fish, is the opposite of what we're doing in our day-to-day life. So it is this opening. If you're finding that the the shoulders are a bit rounded and you need the opposite of that. That's going to open up. Again, if you look at from the chakras side of things, if you've got somebody with depression that's a bit hunched over, or you're in protection mode as well, then this is going to be, again, that lovely openness it's going to give as the chest opens. So it releases tension across the upper back and the shoulders, strengthens and nourishes the spine, it improves circulation and stimulates the thyroid again, enhances breath. It's actually, I believe, really good for asthma and bronchitis, and also fish pearls will treat eating disorders, I believe. It will treat a low appetite. Joy, this will be for you. It'll treat a low appetite, and it'll also treat eating too much. It'll treat bulimia, I believe, and anorexia. So fish is like a really, really restorative, a therapeutic posture that can be used in anything to do with food, any foodie sort of issues. Also supports the digestion, encourages deep rest and nervous system renewal. So it's just absolutely gorgeous. I used to call it the Lilo pose in my classes, because you could imagine just been laid on a lilo in the sea, just bobbing about on the sea. So just checking in with how that's all feeling. How are we all doing? Nice. Oh, bees in it. Nice. Okay, good. I've got a story. Do you want me to tell you it while you're in it? Joy, does that work all right for you with your ears? And yeah, just be careful with make sure the head's a bit elevated when you've got vertigo. All right, good. So I'm gonna tell you a little story time. So if you want to get yourself into fish, or maybe you might just want to go into Shavasana, that's okay as well. But just get yourself nice and comfy, and again, just feeling the spaciousness that comes in this lovely posture, this heart-opening, lovely heart-opening pose. Matsyasana, the heart of stillness. Long ago, when the world was young and the stars still whispered to the sea, there was a woman known as Matsya Devi, the keeper of still waters. She lived by the ocean's edge, where the tides rose and fell in rhythm with her breath. People said that her heart could calm storms, not by force, but by presence. When sailors lost their way, they would say a prayer to her, not to still the sea, but to remember how to breathe through it. And so she became a living bridge between earth and sky, the embodiment of trust in the flow of all things. One night, when the moon hung low and full, Matsya Devi felt the call of spirit stir deep within her. She walked to the shore, carrying nothing but her breath and the knowing in her bones. There she lay upon the soft sand, arms open, chest lifted to the heavens. The ocean's pulse echoed through her body. The inhale, the exhale, the eternal dance of giving and receiving. With every wave that washed near, she felt her heart rise like a tide, and with every retreat, she surrendered a little more. Her heart began to glow with quiet light, not a blazing fire, but a soft golden warmth that shimmered through her skin. The stars seemed to lean closer, listening to her breath. In that moment, she became one with the rhythm of creation, not striving, not seeking, but simply resting in being. The ocean whispered, "You are the tide that never ends, breath that never leaves, and the still point within all movement." And so supported fish pose was born, the sacred remembrance of her offering. Each time we rest the spine upon the earth, chest lifted towards the sky, we return to her wisdom. We remember that the heart is not something to protect, it is something to open. When we lie back in this pose, cradled and supported, we embody Matsya Devi's stillness, a woman held by the earth, yet illuminated by the heavens. We become both the anchor and the wave, the root and the prayer, the human and the divine. The Matsyasana is the pause between the inhale and the exhale, the spacious silence where spirit speaks. It teaches us that surrender is not collapse but communion, that receiving is not weakness but trust. In this sacred shape, your body becomes a vessel for grace, the spine a river of light, the heart a blooming lotus, the breath a bridge to the infinite. When you rest here, you remember that you are never separate. You are held, supported, carried by the great current of love that moves through all things. And as we offer a beautiful mantra in this pose, I am the calm within the current, the stillness within the song. My heart opens to receive the light of all that I am. As you begin to gently deepen your breath, and just bringing a gentle bit of movement back into your fingers and into your toes. And just really gently allowing yourself to move slowly and carefully back into our space. And maybe just bringing the palms together and just rubbing them, create a little heat in your hands, and just placing your palms over your eyes. Just allowing your eyes to rest into the warmth of your hands. And then rubbing the palms together once again. And this time bringing the hands to your heart, your precious, precious heart. And just take a moment to really honor yourself. I'll just finish with this beautiful reading by somebody called Emma Cox, I believe, from 20th century Emma Cox. And it's from a really old book, actually, Time to Be. There is no difficulty that enough love will not conquer, no disease that enough love will not heal, no door that enough love will not open, no guilt that enough love will not bridge, no wall that enough love will not throw down, no sin that enough love will not redeem. It makes no difference how deeply seated may be the trouble, how hopeless the outlook, how muddled the tangle, how great the mistake. A sufficient realization of love will dissolve it all. If only we could love enough, we would be the happiest and most powerful beings in this world. One word frees us from the weight of pain of life, and that word is love. To allow a most beautiful inner smile to rise from your heart to your face and to your beautiful eyes. To bring our circle to a close this weekend. Thank you everybody for your presence and for being open to being online. And yeah, I'm going to go see my grandkids and then go see my idiot partner over in Leeds. See what's going on there. Thank you so much. Has anyone got any questions about those poses, or does that all land okay? Yeah. Yeah, everybody okay. If you've got any questions, just reach out. You practice this month is obviously everything that we've done. And if you do want to begin your chakra assignment, then that is okay. But if you've still got assignments to do, then I would probably focus on them first, because we've got quite a lot of time for this. So, but if you want to get started, you can. But again, because we're in air element is going to support you to bring things to completion. So if you haven't completed yet, then this is a great time to start feeling into that. It never takes as much time as you think. The work that I've got already, I will get marked this week, and I will get that sent back to you if you've already submitted some. And I will really look forward to seeing you in November. Oh, right at the end. So I will have been to court by then. Hopefully we'll be all good, and thank Christ it'll be all over. So please think about me and us. Jules is coming with me on the 21st of November at 11:30 a.m. Please send all the love to the car, and if there's any change, I'll let you know. But yeah, I'll be much relieved with you. And we've got longer between our sessions as well. So we've got another extra week. So I don't actually see you now till the 29th, 30th of November. And so you've got quite a lot of time now in between to get stuff caught up. And, if you need to do that bit of extra work or whatever. And you'll also have a month after the training. In fact, you've got like as long as you need after the training to kind of bring it to completion. But I usually say like about a month. So please don't put yourself under pressure, Joy especially, that you've got to have all of this stuff done, because we've got all the time in the world. We're in the element of time and space. So we've got all the time in the world. Just do it at your own leisure. There's nobody going to beat you up with a big stick. You should stick. So just do it at your own leisure. And and I look forward to seeing you all at the next session. And I'll send you all an email tomorrow with homework. And also, just before we go, is there anything in particular anybody would like to teach next time that they've enjoyed this weekend?
All of it.
Yeah, I liked it
All of
all.
it. Okay. I will just divvy it up then and give you all a bit to do at the next session. So you'll all get a little piece of something to do. I'll sit with it tomorrow and put that all together. And yeah, and enjoy being in the element of air. See you soon. Love you.
Bye, guys.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
ladies. Take
Bye,
care,
love.
everybody.
Bye, and you, Jules. Bye. Bye,
See
bye,
you
bye, bye, bye.
soon. Bye.
Bye.